And welcome back, everyone. It is now time for the greatest video ever. Actually, let's be honest, most people like the worst videos of the year, worst videos of the year, worst films of the year videos than the best films of the year videos for most people. But still, it's time for the best of the best. The best top 10 best movies of 2023, in my humble opinion. Now, I say that, and I should reiterate, this is just my humble opinion. This is based off the movies I saw. I did not see every movie. I never see every movie. I'm incapable of seeing every movie. So with that being said, let's just get into it. At number 10, we got Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. The original 90s version of Dungeons & Dragons is not just not a good film. It is a legendarily bad film. It is a legendary bad film. It is a train wreck of a film. It just hurt the idea or the chances of any dungeon. I think there was like one other one made for like sci-fi or something like that. It hurt the chance of any D&D film ever being made again. So when they said this was coming out, we saw the trailers. We're like, okay, I'm here. Not only is it a great D&D movie with references for fans, good players, all throughout the movie, but it's just a good movie. It's a really, really good movie. It's funny as hell, but it's also charming. It's got a heart, a soul through it. It's got characters you immediately latch onto and like. It's got great payoffs for plot points that are set up. It comes together perfectly. As someone who's a big geek and loves things like D&D, I had a blast in this film. Anytime I'm like popping through the channels and see it on, I'll put it on in the background because it's just that fun. And they're just some moments that live in my head rent free, like his fake version of Chris Pine's character warping into I'm stuck. It's like, why does you being stuck do that? Whatever. Nat 20 potato throw lives in my head rent 3. The dragon chasing them lives in my head rent 3. Just good stuff, man. Good stuff. So Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, number 10. Number 9, a very recent film, Wonka. Like a warm hug. That was the term I heard to describe this. It is perfect. It feels like a warm hug of a movie. This movie has so much charm and not even charisma, but just laughter and heart and joy in it. Like, even in dour moments, there's still a feel of whimsy going on throughout the movie. The songs, I still will listen to some of the cover, like it's a cover of Imagination. I really like that cover of Imagination. But have you got a sweet tooth? I do. A hunger that you have to feed. Have you got a sweet tooth? Me too. I like the songs are wonderful. The ending, the whole movie's great, but that ending, just like, so feels. And Timothy Chalamet is delightful, wonderful, lively, energy. I just loved this film. I had such a good time. I hope to if I can't take my girlfriend to see it, hopefully when it comes out on Max, I'll be able to convince her to watch it, because we're now starting to go through. I convinced her to watch Barbie last night, and she loved it. It was so like whiplash for her at points, but it hit at the end, and she actually really liked the movie a lot. So I'm hoping to do the same with Wonka, because she didn't have much interest in Wonka or Barbie, and I'm like, okay, trust me, if you liked Barbie, I convinced you like Barbie. Let's watch Wonka. So, yeah, Wonka. I loved it. Number 9, Wonka. Coming in at number 9, a film that made it on my best animated films list, or the animated films list, Elemental. Elemental, a film that I didn't know what to expect. All I knew was it was going to be a rom-com with the elements. And it is that, but it's a very well-done rom-com. It's a story about family, about immigration, about opposites attracting, and how we can find the common ground. As well, some of the elemental puns, sure, maybe they don't work, but it's all part of the overall package. The world, the interactions with the elements. I just really admired them still being able to do something kind kind of original. Like, yeah, The Elements in a rom-com, that's not original. But look, no one's done those combined together. In fact, we don't really see sentient elements very much at all, usually. And Pixar is great at taking just a base concept and just molding it into something that's kind of feels unique to for whatever degree. For a second, I thought for a brief moment that the camera was inverted, but no, it's. Wait a minute. This is my left. This is my right. Why does it feel like the camera's inverted for some reason? Maybe you know what it is. I feel almost like it's the frame rate's a little off of my camera for a moment here. Like there's just a little bit of a lag. Hold on, let me see here. Raising my finger. There is. Okay, that's what it is. There seems to be a little bit of a lag on my computer. All right, so I can see what a little bit of the problem here now. Hold on. Let me close a tab on the computer here to see if that helps at all. All right, let's see. No, it still seems to be a bit of a lag. All right. Okay, now it seems to be at least a little bit better. Regardless, it's a barely a lag, but it's a noticeable lag. I thought something seemed a little off of the movements. Like if I do that, it's like all over the place now. But anyway, Elemental, my number 7. My number 6 film, Killers of the Flower Moon. By all accounts, this is probably one of the best made films of the year. And if I were just going by directing, pace, all that, it would probably be near the very damn top. As it stands, it's still a phenomenally acted movie. Hopefully going to be some award nomination consideration for a lot of these guys. It is a brilliantly sad, dark, but engaging story based on real events that happened. The biggest thing that hurts this film is it is 3.5 hours long. It did not need to be that long. But that's the only thing I can think of wrong with the film. I can also think of things you can cut out. And that doesn't hurt the film. That's not to say that they're not good. It's just that if you wanted to cut the film down, it's not inherently needed. So it's a great film. It really is. It's just, it's a bit much. There's no reason it had to be that long or that expensive. Because there's a reason this film didn't make its money back. But that being said, coming in at number 5, we got Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Dead Reckoning, Part 1. Now, look, I have never been all in on the Mission Impossible franchise. They've never been like true, what's the best way for me to put it? They've never been like complete draws for me. I've enjoyed them. I enjoyed Rogue Nation. Was that the last one? I enjoyed, I didn't see Ghost Protocol. I saw the last 2 in theaters, which was Rogue Nation and I can't remember what the other 2 were. Ghost Protocol was the 4th one. I saw the 6th and 7th. I saw 5, 6, and 7 in theaters in a row. And I actually I know for a fact I watched it, but I actually only vaguely remember number 5. But yeah, they're not movies I need to go see. Like, I need to see this, but they're still fantastic movies. They're still very well done. And I think I just fixed the lagging by getting rid of a couple things on the thing on my OBS here. But they are still very well handled movies. And this was no exception. This was a thrill ride from beginning to end. Like, me and my girlfriend were sitting like, my girlfriend was kind of on the edge of her seat. Was like, oh God, not as bad as Top Gun Maverick. Oh my God. Short story about that. I don't know if I ever told it. I saw Top Gun Maverick opening night. I loved it. Finally took her to see it. And it was weeks later and late at night. And we were the only people in the theater. So when the actual aircraft stuff happened and they're in combat, she's literally walking the aisles. She's like, oh my God, 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 oh my God. Oh my God. I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. But no, yeah, it's tense. The action sequences, man, give them props. They do these things legit. They do these action sequences legit. And then the end, that coy little end where it's like, oh no, it's not over yet. As you won today, we'll win tomorrow kind of thing. And now the bad guy, who in all of his suave arrogance, so he's just like, Ethan! Ah, man, it's so good. It's so good. Ah, man. And the fact that they're kind of setting up like this little, I don't want to call it an Avenger, Suicide Squad, whatever, but kind of his new team by the end of the movie. It's good. It's just so good. I really liked it. So coming in at number 5, we got Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1. Coming in at number 4, top 4, is John Wick 4. Let's be honest, not end of the alleged end of his story for the time being. And my God, if this was in fact going to be the last John Wick, and let's be honest, it's the highest grossing one, or it could be the best rated one. They're not going to stop making the John Wick films until Keanu Reeves no longer wants to do it. But you want to talk about a film that's been a series, you want to talk about a film series that has been able to completely not jump the gun, but rev itself up every single new movie. Second one was far bigger than the first one. Third one was definitely bigger than the second one. And then the fourth one goes above and beyond even for this, beyond the third one in many ways. It keeps escalating, and it never felt boring. It still felt fresh. It still felt like, how the hell do they keep one-upping themselves? And they keep doing it. And John, for the little bit of dialogue we get with him, because he's not a guy of many words. He's not having in-depth monologues, conversations. We are following his journey, but it all stems from that dog dying and it being his wife's gift to him so he didn't mourn alone. It all stems from that, and it's all carrying over throughout this entire series, where we want this guy to have his redemption, to have his freedom. And so when he finally gets it in the end, it is so satisfying, even if he did die. And they even said, no, the implication is, no, he's still alive. He didn't die. And apparently they filmed a version of that, the ending where he does show up at the end. And you can even see the way it's played out if you really listen to Winston's dialogue and you look at that reaction like the dog has, for example. You can tell he's like looking at them from like the tree line or whatever, at his grave or whatever. But yeah, it's just a fantastically built up series that, if this were the end of it, would be a perfectly served ending. It'd be the perfect cap off to the series. But we will probably get a fifth one at some point, and you know what? That's okay. And it gave us Donnie Yen. Who doesn't love Donnie Yen? So yeah, coming in at number 3, we went from John Wick Chapter 4, number 4, to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 at number 3. I seem to be having a theme of perfectly ended franchises, albeit franchises that will keep going in different incarnations. And I already talked about this in the comic book movie, but this is just the story of people we've been following for well over a decade, similar to John. But it's a family, it's a group, it's characters we love, and love seeing them interact with each other, who have all experienced hardship, and we just want to see them have a happy ending, or at least see their stories reach a conclusion that is satisfying for all of them. And we got that. James Gunn did it, and it was satisfying, and he did it without killing a single one of them. And that is brilliant, because I don't think any of us would have been happy. I mean, we would have accepted it, and like, there was still a beautiful end because he would have figured it out. But it still would have been hard for us to say goodbye, legitimately goodbye, to any of them. Drax, Rocket. I mean, Rocket nearly dies twice, I believe, in that film, or at least. We seeing his backstory, seeing his friends, and seeing what happened. Man, we nearly broke twice with that raccoon. Twice in the same movie. And honestly, within the span of, I think, like, what was it, like 15, 20 minutes of each other? And it's like, you see his friends there. Oh, God, okay, we're good. Then he's dying on the table, and he wants to go with his friend. Oh, no! Oh, man, you create you create the perfect villain for this type of film too, with a high evolutionary, that eugenics perfect perfect pompous prick who you just want to see shut the fuck up. That's what you want to do. Yeah, his comeuppance is perfect. All this drama, all this heart, still wrapped up in the crazy nature of the Guardians world, of the James Gunn directing style. It is just a perfect ending to a franchise. So I loved it. I loved it completely. I will rewatch it in a heartbeat if I ever get a chance. Speaking of films that I really want to go out and see maybe one more time, while it's still in theaters if possible, is my number 2 spot, Godzilla -1. A film that I'm like, hey, cool. I'm going out to see. There's not much else to see. I'm going to maybe see this. And I'm like, wait a minute. I can go see Godzilla -1? Screw it. I'm going to go see Godzilla -1. I love Godzilla. So I go in. I'm not really what to expect. I'm hearing great things. And I sit down, I'm like, damn. That is a fantastic. This has been one of Godzilla's biggest years so far. Had a good trailer drop with Godzilla and Kong Empire. It's got Monarch, which is a really good series from everything I'm told. Everyone's really loving it. And Godzilla's had this fantastic movie that just dropped. Godzilla is kind of king of the monsters and king of the media right now. But it really is. It takes you all the way back to the original 54 Gojira. It really takes you all the way back there to the fact that Godzilla is an allegory for the atomic bomb, and he is there to destroy. He's not your friend. He's not there to dance. He's not there to save the day. He is there to destroy and wreak havoc. And he is a natural disaster, nature's fury incarnate. And when this Godzilla destroys shit, man. His breath is a literal nuke. It's just, they play up the fear and the dread while also simultaneously giving us a really damn good story with the humans. Because let's be honest, Godzilla is usually is actually never in the movie a lot compared to the amount of humans you have in the film and their story. If I were to say how much screen time Godzilla actually has in this film, that's actually a good question. We see him before obviously becomes Godzilla, the dinosaurus creature. He's got more screen time in this than he does some of his other outings, definitely. He's got at least 20 to 30 minutes worth of screen time, actually, now that I think about it. At least, maybe even 40. But the movie, I believe, is like 2-something hours long. So those stretches of time Godzilla is actually on the screen, it's like they're giant chunks of him. We're never seeing him. We're never cutting back usually to him. And just doing random stuff, except when he gets nuked. But that's the point, is that while Godzilla's threat is always looming, he's never always on screen, but you always feel him on screen, like his threat looms. And you're following the story of this guy who just is suffering from PTSD, survivor's guilt. The whole, you didn't have the honor to kill yourself as a kamikaze pilot, bull crap. Kamikaze is such a bull crap thing. It is I don't care about your honor. I don't give a damn. It's bull crap. But it's his story of trying to reconcile that past while still trying to have a present, a life in the present with these people who have ultimately become his adopted family, is what they are. And the struggles he's tried to overcome with them, the new people in his life that he works with, as well as his former soldiers that he worked with as well, and how it all comes together, how humanity and all of its faults and its troubles and its foils comes together to ultimately unite against a greater threat, against a problem they create and that they will fix. And damn, it is just such a good movie. It's such a good movie. I can't recommend it enough. So then, coming in at number 1, this should really not surprise anyone. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. If you've watched the other videos, you know that we've completely run the gamut here. It topped all the lists except the worst one. So this just, again, I'm just going to repeat what I said in the other ones. It did what all films try to do, but very rarely succeed at doing. It topped the original in every possible way. Animation style, character dynamics, introducing new characters while still giving them interesting characters. I love Hobie. Hobie's so good, but you also get what was it? Pete Downer, the Indian version of Spider-Man. What did you say? Chai means tea, man. Him. Gwen's story is arguably better than Miles' story in the movie. My God, is her story so good? And then that cliffhanger at the end where he's stuck in another universe, and we now gotta get the team together to find him. I love it. It's good. It's really good. Oh man, look. You want more praise than I can give it right now? Go watch the other two videos or watch my review of it. But all I can say is, Across the Spider-Verse, best movie of the year in my opinion. It's definitely going to win best animated film of the year, unless something came out on Netflix like a stupid Guillermo Pinocchio beating out Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots got robbed. I have no interest in watching that Pinocchio. Maybe I am wrong for gauging it, but from what I've heard from other people too, I've heard some people really didn't like that version of Pinocchio. They found Pinocchio annoying, all that, and like just not. Like, the animation's good, but is it really... I don't know. Point being is that I think Puss in Boots should have been best animated film of last year. But what do I know? But that is the best film of 2023, in my opinion. Join us again next year for 2024. Until then, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, and I'll see you next time. Later.